The Vorthack delegation materialized in the university's quantum physics laboratory with the subtle displacement of air that accompanied their species' advanced teleportation technology. Their crystalline exoskeletons caught the fluorescent lighting, casting prismatic shadows across the sterile walls. Standing nearly 8 feet tall, with razor-sharp mandibles and eyes that burned like miniature supernovas, they had conquered 17 star systems before their 20th solar cycle. They had come to Terra 7 University expecting the same cowering submission they'd encountered across the galaxy. Humans, according to their intelligence reports, were soft, primitive creatures who had barely mastered faster-than-light travel. Perfect targets for psychological warfare before the inevitable conquest. The lead Vorthack warrior, Kethmore, extended his biometallic claws and prepared his species' traditional intimidation display. His throat sacs inflated, producing the bone-chilling harmonic frequencies that had sent entire civilizations fleeing in terror. The sound reverberated through the laboratory, causing sensitive equipment to vibrate ominously. Instead of screaming or fainting, the human students looked up from their quantum entanglement experiments with mild curiosity. "Oh, cool. You must be the exchange students from the Andromeda sector," said Marcus, a lanky astrophysics major with paint-stained fingers. "Professor Williams mentioned you'd be joining our dimensional mechanics class." Kethmore's intimidation display faltered. His throat sacs deflated with an embarrassing wheeze. We are the Vorthack. Apex predators of 17 worlds. Tremble before our—" "That's awesome," interrupted Elena, not looking up from her holographic equations. "I'm working on a thesis about apex species integration in post-scarcity societies. Mind if I interview you later?" The youngest Vorthack warrior, Zwaxtel, whispered urgently to his commander. "Sir, they show no fear pheromones. Their cardiac rates remain steady. Perhaps they don't understand the threat we pose." "Threat?" Marcus had overheard with his surprisingly acute human hearing. "Dude, why would you be threatening? You're here to learn, right? Same as us." Kethmore tried again, this time extending his full wingspan and activating his bioluminescent warning patterns. "Your species will kneel before the might of—" "Oh man, you guys probably haven't eaten since your jump," said Jake, emerging from behind a particle accelerator. "The cafeteria food here is terrible, but my roommate's making chili tonight. You should totally come over." The Vorthack warriors exchanged bewildered glances through their compound eyes. In 17 conquered worlds, no one had ever invited them to dinner. "This must be some form of psychological warfare," Zwaxtel muttered in their chittering native tongue. "I don't think it is," Elena said in perfect Vorthack, causing all 3 aliens to jump backward. "I studied your language last semester. You seem confused about something. Are you okay?" The interrogation protocols Kethmore had memorized suddenly seemed inadequate. Humans weren't supposed to learn alien languages for fun. They weren't supposed to remain calm in the face of apex predators. They certainly weren't supposed to offer food to potential invaders. "How do you remain so calm?" Kethmore finally asked, his translator struggling with the concept he was trying to express. Marcus shrugged. "I mean, you're here for the same reason we are, right? To learn stuff and maybe figure out how the universe works. Plus, you look really stressed." "Jake's chili always helps when I'm stressed." "But we are apex predators," Zwaxtel protested weakly. "So are humans, technically," Elena replied matter-of-factly. "We just got really good at cooperation instead of domination. Game theory shows it's more efficient long-term." That evening, 3 of the galaxy's most feared warriors found themselves seated around a cramped apartment table, tentatively sampling Jake's surprisingly excellent 5-alarm chili while Marcus explained his research into parallel universe theory. Elena interviewed them about their conquest methodologies with the same academic enthusiasm she brought to studying quasar formations. The chili was indeed excellent. The conversation about multidimensional physics was fascinating. And for the first time in their lives, the Vorthack experienced something their species had never encountered, friendship offered without conquest, knowledge shared without subjugation, and a strange warmth that came from being welcomed rather than feared. By the end of the semester, Kethmore had changed his major to comparatives and sociology. The invasion fleet was quietly redirected to a career fair.